Oh, hello everybody. Pyrax is here and going on another little hike today. Today we are at the northern end of the Cheat Lake trail. It's a 4.5 mile trail that goes along the Cheat Lake border on the eastern side, I think. And it's actually wholly in West Virginia. We're just over the state line. That's the dam down there, and the power station. Just on the other side of the power station a little bit is the Pennsylvania state line. So we're technically in West Virginia right now. It's a very steep trail. I mean, a very steep bank in the parking lot. And as you can see, the water just makes these grooves. This was just terrible on my tires. I probably should have parked where that fellow over there parked, in the grass, but we got up there and it should be okay. The little bit of the trail that goes down to the lake has some steps here, and it's pretty steep, so if you're with a bike you probably have to carry it. But once you get down on the trail, it's all flat and level for the whole 4.5 miles. So we're going to be taking a 9-mile hike today altogether, and here we go. You can see it on the map. Here's where we're at right here. Right here at this red spot. And we're going to go and follow this all the way down here. All the way, boom, down to the wildlife viewing area. So, yeah, that's going to be, like I said, a nice little lakeside jaunt. Of course, the trail rules. It tells you a little bit about the lake. And I'm gonna go ahead and film just down to the edge, take a few little shots there. Mostly I'll try to keep from panning too much. I noticed in my last videos I've been kind of reviewing some of them, and I tend to move around too much, and it's kind of disorienting. So I'm gonna try to focus on keeping things more flat. Oh, we got a nice little American beech tree here. Got some beech nuts on here. Grouse love this stuff. I'm gonna pick some. I know where several of these beech trees are, and I picked up some from my last hike over at Lick Hollow picnic area, but they weren't plump enough. They fell too early, I guess, because of the dry, the heat that we've been having. So I'll have to remember this one here, and I'll probably pick some because I want to try some beech nuts. Well, that's a nice, big, beautiful tree. It's a yellow poplar, tulip poplar. We got some maple, we got some hickory, we got some beech. It's a nice mix of forest. Like I said, you can see these are the stairs that go down, so it'd be kind of a bummer to have to haul your bike down here over your shoulder or such like that, but yeah, it's other than I mean, for the walker, it's not so bad. But like I said, I can imagine if you have a bike with some gear and stuff, that it might be a pain to get it up and down these steps. But other than that, it's really pleasant. And like I said, once you get down there to the trail, it's it's just all flat from there. No ups or downs at all. So, I mean, if it's any rise at all, it's only like a foot or two, just going over the bridges and stuff, because there are a few little alcoves. Oh, what is that? Thought I might have saw another hackberry tree, but no, it looks like it might be an elm. One of the elms. Oh, I didn't realize there was a little creek right here. This is very nice. All right. Almost there. Now, usually whenever I get down here and I look down in the water, I can see some fish swimming around, mostly bass, but sometimes bluegill. And it's really nice in the spring because along this trail, there's also some redbud trees, and they have that pretty lavender purple flowers before the leaves come on. So there's the dam. You can see a little bit of it through the trees. I usually go fishing on the other end of the dam there. But yeah, it's going to be mostly this kind of view all the way up and down, but I'll take some footage of the more interesting areas. Like up here, there's a park. There's, like I said, there's some bridges that go over sections where some offshoots of the lake are. And yeah, and if I see anything interesting, like some deer or some bear or something like that, then we'll take shots of that. Nice views. It's the morning. I'm usually not a morning person. I'm usually a night owl, but I got up with the crack of dawn this morning, so I thought, what the heck? Yeah, so check out this trail sometime if you guys get a chance. I think you'll enjoy it. Look, there's one of the redbud trees I was talking about. See, it's all, those were the purple flowers, but they turned into seed pods, look like pea pods. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down until we get to something interesting to film. Well, I wanted to take a shot of the pretty lake shore. You can see some of those really fancy rich people houses over there and how they got their docks and everything. Also, you've got strewn about along the path, you're going to have some of these fishing docks here. This one's kind of decrepit, and like I said, this is West Virginia, so I don't have a West Virginia license, but this would be a kind of place I'd probably stop and fish. Kind of treacherous getting down there. That trail's pretty steep, as you can see, but once you're out there, somebody has a propane canister down there on the dock. Must have been night fishing, probably for walleye. But yeah, it's a beautiful little lake view. Thought you'd all appreciate the pretty view. Plus, like I said, all kinds of different trees here. There's a wide variety. I've seen elm, I've seen black locust, I've got maples, oaks. There's a red oak right here in front of me. Here's I'm pretty sure this is a hackberry. Yep, that's a little hackberry, a baby one. Here's a bigger one. You can tell by that corky bark right there. I just, it's so funny now that I've actually found them, I know what they look like. Then we got some maples. There's another elm. Oh, that's a big hackberry tree. Oh my gosh, that's probably the biggest one I've come across so far. But the banks are really steep. And somewhere along here, I remember, it's nice I got a bench here, but somewhere along here I remember there's a car, or like a really old van kind of thing that's like stuck up here. Somebody just drove it down the hill. So, I mean, it's up here somewhere. It's been a couple years since I've been on this trail, but yeah, like I said, a lot of different trees: maple, black locust, sumac. I don't think there's any pawpaws along this trail. There's a tulip poplars, little ones, and black walnut. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's a black walnut. I'm looking at the bark. Tree of heavens have a different kind of bark, so, which this is probably a tree of heaven right here. It's a little small to be sure, but there's a bunch of them in here, so yeah, I'm thinking they're probably trees of heaven. And that's a tree of heaven, I think. Yeah. Oh no, looks like it's a black walnut too. So these are well, no, I don't know. I could be mistaken. No, there's walnuts on it, so yeah, it's definitely black walnut. All right, we'll probably turn it back on when we get down to the park, which is about, I think about half a mile down, 3/4 at the most. Well, I wasn't going to do any more filming until the park, but something interesting here. I got a nice, really big rock face up here. I would go up there and explore a little bit more, but I don't know. I don't really feel like trudging up this. And the other thing that I wanted to point out was that it's really interesting to me because we got two different kind of hickories here. This one, you can see the nut on there, a bunch of nuts on there. Probably I'm guessing maybe a pig nut or something, but it's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4, 6, 7 to 9 leaflets on each leaf stalk. And then right next to it, we've got this one with the much bigger leaves. This is a hickory too, and it's got 5 on each one. I think that might be a shagbark. but I can't be sure. There's like 5 or 6 different hickories. I think there's a red hickory, pig nut hickory, mockernut hickory, shellbark, shagbark. But yeah, that's a really neat looking area up there with that big rock. I bet it would be nice to go up there and explore, but we're gonna refrain from doing that today. Yeah, a lot of hickories in here. Looks like a Norway maple. Got some sugar maples. I haven't seen any red maple yet. Yeah, so. All right, just wanted to point that rock out. Looks like somebody lost their boat down here. It's got a seat on there, at least it's still afloat, but I don't know, maybe it got loose from over there across the lake where all those other boats are and just drifted over here underneath here. And it's right next to a princess tree, which you don't see these very often around here, but I can tell it's a princess tree and not a catalpa or an empress or princess tree because it's got those seed pods on it. I don't know, you probably can't see it through the camera, but it's a pretty good size one. Got pretty purple flowers, but they're supposedly highly invasive. So a lot of cliff faces over here. I think it's really interesting too how you've got all these different stripes in this one section. Just notice how it's got these striations, but only in that certain area along that certain strip. The rest is pretty smooth. Very interesting to me. I think it's some kind of limestone. I'm not too much into geology, so I'm not really sure, but this is turning out to be a real nice trail. And like I said, I haven't even got to the park yet. I haven't gotten too far, but yeah, definitely a nice little trail to walk. Like I said, flat, level, you know, except for the stairs getting down. All right. Well, like I said, I haven't been on this trail too long, but I gotta say this is a really good trail if you're into identifying trees and learning more about trees. This is an excellent trail because it has so many different species of maple, oaks, hickories, tree of heaven. Let me just give you an example. This is a black walnut tree. Now you can see there's a black walnut right there. That's a mighty big one too. Now look at the leaf structures. You can see how it's got the, each leaf has leaflets. And, you know, you can tell that's the black walnut. Now it looks very similar to both sumac trees, and it's also very similar to trees of heaven, which there's also trees of heaven all around here, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. Let's just get a quick shot of this. There you go. Something to read if you want. But another, like I said, red bud there, maple. But up here is a good example. More hickories. I'm passing some of the trees of heaven now, but I wanted to show you a specific feature of trees of heaven that are flowering. Now you can see, and also known as ailanthus, you can see how they've got the same kind of leaf structure. But you can see that that has the same kind of leaf pattern structure with a little more red in it, but it doesn't have nuts on it. It has those seed pods. So just something like I wanted to point out. Like I said, if you're into tree identification and stuff, this is definitely a good trail to learn more about your local trees and stuff here in PA and West Virginia. Well, people, we made it to the Cheat Lake Park. I just crossed over the bridge. You can see that's where I came from. That goes over the little channel that goes into this little back bay. Now this little fork, here's the lake proper. You can see there's no fishing from the bridge, but they got these little fishing platforms right next to the bridge. But this is the main lake here. You can see a little bit of the dam down there, way down there. Yeah, this is the main lake. And this little fork goes all the way back, and just the tip of it actually reaches into Pennsylvania. So part of this lake, a very small part down this channel, about, I think it's about a mile back there, it stretches and goes all the way to Pennsylvania. But like I said, nice little fishing platform. You can fish along here. And I like to come and sit in here and watch these fish in here, because you can actually throw things and the little rock bass and bluegill will come up. But they keep it pretty, they got nice little pavilion picnic areas. As you can see, there's the park up there. They have a little boat ramp there, boat launch, another little dock. I usually put my kayak in there when I bring my kayak down, and then I take it up here, and sometimes I go into the main lake and go off to the next little channels. Looks like we got some nice little pretty white flowers there. Get a shot of that. Something else there. But all right, I got a guy with a dog coming, and they're not the friendliest of dogs, so I'm going to shut her down now. Okay, well, this is a nice little spot to take some pictures, I guess. This is that little cove I said goes upriver to Pennsylvania, the border. You can't see it, but way down at the end it goes around the curve, and like I said, I think it's about a mile back in there. But it's really nice. You got the bridge, you can see the bridge over there, and the gazebo. That's where you can put your boat in on this side, the smaller boats, and lash it to this pier, and then you could go back in there and fish all back in that area, or just kayak and paddle, and or you can go out into the lake through that channel there. Nice weeping willow tree here. I like weeping willows. Like I said, this is probably for a smaller boat drop-off, because you can see it's not very long, but it's a nice place to bring the family for a picnic. Definitely, like I said, it's in West Virginia. They seem to care quite a bit about, you know, keeping the place up. They seem to do a pretty good job. There we go. Now, up there is the main parking lot. People who don't have a handicapped tag have to park up there and come down this hill. But there is handicap parking down here. So, as you can see, there's about, oh, let's see, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 10 parking spaces. Now, this is, for some reason, this is the winter boat ramp, and they say that it's only open November 1st and it closes April 30th. Why that is, I have no idea. But I think it tells you about special regulations for walleye and yellow perch. Oh, this is nice. I might have to get me I got a dog waste station just like that other trail. I might have to get a West Virginia fishing license, non-resident, and come down here and go fishing sometime. Oh, look here. Invasive as was found in this water body, hydrilla. Huh, huge threat to the lakes. Interesting. Nice little mulberry tree on the causeway there. And some, oh, I can't remember what they're called. They're a type of dogwood with the blue berries. But it's a nice little park. Got an old millstone here. In fact, there's a little beach down here. The swimming area is right in front of me around this little cove area. And there's a spot down there. I'll take some footage of it. It's got a lot of millstones down there. Here's one of those dogwoods I said with the blueberries. Downy or silver or something. I can't remember what the name of it is. But we also, looks like we got some Russian olive here. Not Russian olive, autumn olive. It looks like they keep these trees along the shore low, because I've never seen them grow too big. But like I said, it's a nice little park to bring the kids. You got this playground to go on. You got, you know, bathrooms. You've got a swimming area over there. You can see where the buoys are out there in the water. So that swimming area is right over there where the beach is. Kind of hard to see from here. And then there's a little launch boat area there with a fish cleaning station. And another one of the thingies here for anyone who wants to like freeze the frame and read it. Now we are right here, I think. Yeah, we're right in here. Now I've already gone that far, so 1, 2, 3 more of those. I'm a fourth of the way, so I'm gone just over a mile. I don't know if I'm gonna make it because it's kind of humid today and sticky, and I'm already sweating and everything. So we'll go as far as we can. If I remember correctly, too, there's a couple of vending machines up here too. So there's another little back bay with a lot of people's property, and another bridge goes over that, another causeway. So yeah, apparently this trail goes all the way around. You can see way down there, goes all the way around that end down there to the bend. I don't know, that's a pretty long walk, but I think I'll give it a try, so we'll see. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and walk down the trail. I'm gonna give it a shot. You can see there's the Gatorade. I said there's a vending machine. It's just one single Gatorade machine. The building bathrooms are closed for some reason. They've got porta potties over there, but hey, at least it's something. And they have a nice little bottled water station where you can actually just, you know, those big 5-gallon jugs. They've got those. They got one of those with hot and cold water, so that's kind of nice of them to do. They didn't have to do that. But like I said, real nice little area. I've actually brought my kayak and gone up and through into this one and into the next one down over there. But I guess you could fish off of that little platform there. So we're gonna go ahead and go down here. And like I said, I'm not gonna take too much footage of just the walk down there, but when I come across something interesting, I'll just highlight those. And so, because I don't want to waste too much film on, you know, on the walk. But I still got over 60% battery capacity, so we should be good. And plus, I don't want to make the video an hour long like that other one. So, okay. Goodness gracious, I love it. The water's so clear. Don't see any fish yet, though. All right. Okay, and then I'm walked around from over there where the park is. This is part of the park, I assume, too, where you can park your boats. You know, you got a boat thing here. You got your swimming area right over here with a lot of picnic tables. You got your bathrooms up here. Let's see if these are open. Oh, goodness. I thought there was a fish cleaning station here. Maybe it's around the corner here. But, oh, look, we got some water. I think I need a drink. Since I rarely ever bring any water with me, let's see if this works. It doesn't look like it's going to work. Yep, didn't think so. Should have grabbed some of that bottled water over. I didn't have anything to put it in, though. See, you have to have your own cup. But it's nice to get a little first aid kit. They've got, yeah, these are locked too. But they got a fire extinguisher, first aid kit. No swimming at the boat area. Yeah, I thought there was a fish cleaning station here. Maybe that was years ago, because something was here. There's pipes there. There's the porta potties. And a place to park your bike. Looks like we got, yeah. Let's go over here and check out the swimming area. And I think just beyond on the other side of the swimming area, I think that's where the millstones are. But I've actually, years ago, I used to come here with a friend of mine from work when I worked at Shop and Save. So that's been like 12 years ago or so. But we used to come out here when her little girl was small, and we'd go swimming and kayaking and all kinds of stuff here. So I am rather familiar with the area. Oh, we got some spice bush here too, and some sassafras, sycamore. I noticed a couple of white oaks, mostly all red oaks. And strange too, but that I actually saw some chestnut oaks. I thought they were chestnut trees at first, but they were actual chestnut oaks because they had acorns on them. So usually I see those up high in the mountain ridges. I don't usually see those down by creeks and water. Nice little logged area up here. Swimming area closes at sunset. They got a little life ring. Got a butterfly floating around here. And swim area seems smaller than it was before. Well, maybe, yeah, because there's the buoys up there, out there. So yeah, definitely a nice little beach. It's actually, they probably just brought the sand in and just dumped it here. So it's actually a sandy beach. Big, beautiful maple. That's a huge maple. Sugar maple, I think, based on the leaf structure. Little elm tree. Oh, yeah. Up here's the, I can see some of the millstones. These things are huge. I mean, you got to imagine those big old water mills next to a creek, and then turn those, I mean, that wooden water wheel would turn these big old rocks, these millstones. They must weigh several hundred pounds at least. Yep. Ooh, goodness gracious. Like I said, real humid and sticky today. It rained first thing this morning, but here's a millstone here. And they seem to be cutting a lot of the trees out of this section here. And are those pawpaws? I think those are pawpaw trees. Tells you all about the millstones. Yeah, I think we got some pawpaws here. Definitely. Yep, got some little pawpaws. I didn't think there were any on this trail, but just goes to show what I know. Now that it's all opened up in here, these will probably spread by the root suckers. They've knocked a lot of them down, but I don't see any fruit on any of them, but at least they're here. All right, let's go over here and look at these other millstones. Then I'll go on down the trail, see if there's anything else interesting between here and the wildlife viewing area. But here you can see, ooh, a lot of millstones. Yeah, these things got away. Oh my God, probably a ton each. Boom. Oh, there's a little chipmunk running around over there. Look at that. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I remember this from years ago. Like I said, I used to come here all the time. And I got so much further to go if I'm going to go the whole 4.5 miles. Down to that point on the left where that juts out and goes around the corner. Just on the other side of that is the end of the trail. So, and from here it's another 3 miles. So we'll see if I make it. Hey everybody, I made it home and I got to editing the video, patching it all together, and realized that it was a little bit long to put everything together in one video. So I'm breaking it down. I'm taping this after. I'll put a second video, I'll put a link, you'll see it up in the corner here. I'll put a link to the second video so that you can watch that if you want. It's going to be from the park to the end of the southern end of the trail. This first video was from the northern parking lot by the dam all the way down to the park, Cheat Lake Park. So if you want to go ahead and check out the other part, it's going to be a few little clips with me talking, but mostly it's going to be after the outro. It's going to be just a lot of little highlight clips with no talking. It's going to be mostly, you know, little short clips of scenery and stuff, and flowers and plants and stuff like that. All right guys, hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Bye.